it's a trigger point for me when you mention the word custody, because false allegations are used to dictate acrimonious custody disputes. And people like yourself understand that, but then when you try to bring this up to politicians or so-called professionals, they'll try and tell you that a false allegation is extremely rare in today's society. Well, that is not the case. I speak to quite a lot of fathers. I'm sure you've had the same experience where, and it doesn't have to be a major false allegation, but a minor false allegation nonetheless is still a false statement made to police. Now, under the Criminal Consolidation Act, you make a false statement to police, you should be charged for that. If they mandated false allegation sentencing, they would stop. They would alleviate any grey area where he said, she said becomes fact-driven. So it's so hard to hear, you know, and I appreciate you sharing, because I know this, but a lot of people out there I try to explain this to just flatly refuse to acknowledge that that's the reality. So, yeah, thank you for sharing.
No, that's okay. And too, like, just to add to that, like, they, you know, they need to be given the courage and the confidence to be able to say that that's a false allegation, because a lot of the time they're like, you know, default, well, I'm not going to bother because I know no one's going to listen to me. Yeah. So like you said, it's those grey areas like in the legal system that, again, they naturally, like, I'm a woman and I obviously push for women's rights, but as a boy mum, I push for equal rights here, and I want, you know, the boys to be protected too. And if it would come to a custody dispute or something like that, I would like to know that they're taken care of in the exact same way as like what I would be if I needed to be in that situation.
Well, see, and that's exactly what people call me a men's activist and all sorts of things, but I see myself as an equality advocate. I don't want us to go back to the 50s. I want men and women to be on an equal playing field, but I also think it's imperative for society that men and women are both capable of lying. That's the reality of the psychological base of every human being. So irrespective of what gender, irrespective of what you identify as, if you lie, you should face the full accountability of the legal system, because it then in turn tells other people that, shit, I'm not going to go down that path. Look what happened to Sarah when she tried that. That didn't work out real well for her. But because they're getting away with it, because there's no legal accountability for false allegations, we're just in an epidemic level where, why wouldn't you? When there's no legal recourse, you might as well give it a go. You're going to gain an advantage, whether it works or it doesn't. So, yeah, look, it's confronting, but I do, as again I touch on, but I appreciate genuine ladies like yourself calling it as you see it. So, all right.
100%. And also, wait, let me just add, because that one, like, personal experience, sorry to waffle on.
No, you're right.
But I'm known for that. That's why we do podcasts. Hey, but it also, the false allegations to the police, like that affects your job. You know, if you need to get a job, that, like, they check your criminal history and it's like, oh, like, this person said this, which is completely false. Well, they're not going to listen to you, are they? They're just not going to call you back. Like, so it has ripple effects. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, you're right. It's you're jobless, you're homeless, you're childless, and all of a sudden you're purposeless, and that's a very dangerous position to find yourself in as any parent, man or woman, that if you've lost everything that matters so much to you, it's a very hard struggle to try to find on something to hang on to. So